I love recasting this in the lens of, profit margins. And as everybody's profit margins get progressively narrower and narrower and narrower, they're forced to cut things that are exploratory or tangential to the main research program. And I think that it's a useful lens for being able to understand the way that everything kind of comes apart
But it's
because it's
also
just this thing running in the background.
it's also the question of your planning horizon,
Mm.
right? When capitalism was developing rapidly, capitalists assumed that they would be giving, their shares to their children, to their grandchildren. They had to plan for reasonably long terms. I don't think it was ever longer than a generation. But the idea was, and science was developing rapidly, was, even though it was always, especially after World War II, put on government and universities to fund basic research, the general idea was you had to fund things that would become profitable 20 or 30 years down the road. Otherwise, you'll get jumped.
And
Somebody
now you
else will
need
be doing
something
that.
and now you
So,
need just the next quarter. Like, you've
right.
basically
So now,
transitioned.
exactly. Now, what happened was you see the planning horizon gets smaller and smaller. So you throw out basic research because who cares what's happening 20 years from now? Then you start to throw out applied research because the market isn't not growing anymore.
Mm.
If the market's growing, you need new technologies to get a bigger share of that future, bigger market. If it starts to shrink, then it's a question of what do we do to get a bigger share of this market? Cut wages, you know, uh, cut research. We're not going to need research because the market's getting smaller.
Mm.
And, again, what you see in the past couple of months is the extreme outcome. I mean, what is uh, what I call not Doge, but DOPE, the department, the do our plunder efficiently. So what they're doing is they're getting rid of anything that competes with the need to direct as much income in the present quarter, in the present year, back to the very wealthy. I mean, again, Trump has made this really naked when he says, well, if we cut the budget, if we cut this, that, and the other thing, then, and if we raise tariffs as a new source of income, as a regressive tax, then we have all the money that we need to fund the next round of tax cuts for the rich. So
And
that's
also the military. I think we're talking about a $1 trillion military budget in the next
right. Of
in the
course, that's
next year.
always expanding. But, you know, that's at the government level. But you see the same phenomena at the corporate level.
Mm.
Is that if you look at the balance in the economy, you see industries aimed at redividing the market growing, and industries aimed at supplying the market shrinking. Because you know what does manufacturing do? It produces goods that people need. What does advertising do? It divvies up the market among those who are producing. And the biggest companies now, you know, social media companies are advertising companies. They are among the biggest ones. So, and so, you know,
I
so you get to the situation where, you know, capitalism doesn't need research because it doesn't have a future. They're just planning for the present.
Our videos come out of LPPFusion's research in fusion energy, which will power a future with abundance for all, with a clean, sustainable economy and environment. Goods, housing, and infrastructure would be extremely affordable once fusion kicks in. Fusion energy is the key to an advanced future. Support fusion research. The link's in the description. And thanks.